Hello YouTube, so today I want to talk to you about Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3, and then some of the where it's gone since, and I'll even talk about some other games too, with just roller coaster type theme park games in general. So Roller Coaster Tycoon, the original, it's probably the game I've spent my most time on my entire life out of all video games ever. I used to love it as a kid, just something about it. You're building, I really like building things, so you get to build your park and the scenery uh, and go through the campaign and earn new parks. It's just really, really well done and really a great game. And then Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 came out. Some people complained that they give you all the scenarios at once, so it's not really as much of a career mode, which I do think maybe they could have done something where you go through them at one at a time. But overall, I just kind of did the custom one mostly, where I do my own different theme parks and I'd spend a lot of time designing all the sceneries and um, doing all that. So I didn't really mind it that much, but some people didn't like it as much. Overall, though, Roller Coaster Tycoon was probably my favorite. It just had so much in the way of scenery and rides. You could pick just almost any ride you could think of that you would want, and scenery was just wonderful. You had castles. I think there's actually two different types of castle scenery, and at the time I actually didn't know how to stack scenery on top of each other, but eventually I learned how to do it, but it took a long time. But anyways, once I did that, I even had more fun with it, and just awesome game. Roller Coaster Tycoon is probably my favorite out of all the Roller Coaster Tycoon series. Roller Coaster Tycoon just had the best and the most amount of scenery, I think, out of all of them. You had Europe, you had Asia, you had going back and forward in time, you had fantasy type of settings, you had holidays like Halloween, and dinosaurs, pirates, just anything you can imagine. Um, and then Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 came out, and it was quite different from 1 and 2. So Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I think it was made by different producers too, and you could do different. You can ride the rides now, and so overall, I liked Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Uh, yeah, I liked Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I still think actually 2 is my favorite, but I think the perfect game would have some sort of combination of 2 and 3. But like I think the perfect Roller Coaster Tycoon game would be like a fusion of all the scenery and stuff from Roller Coaster Tycoon with the mini golf and the hedge mazes and all that, with being able to actually ride all the rides, like every ride, like being able to actually drive the go-karts instead of just watching them, and being able to actually go in the haunted houses and the pre-made up rides. I think that'd be the perfect game, but so far it doesn't seem like there is a perfect game. But that being said, um, so far all the Roller Coaster Tycoon games have really been quite fun for me. So Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, like I said, it's a lot different. The peeps are different. I actually kind of missed the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 peeps. They're just kind of simple and fun. Also kind of missed the entrances. Roller Coaster Tycoon entrances were, I liked them better. There's more choices. You can theme them how you want. With like in 2, you could do like igloo themed, or press a button and that'll go to whatever theme you want. Asian theme, any type of sceneries that you like. And by the way, I really like sceneries. I really like to theme my rides and my parks and have different zones. I probably spend a lot more time on that than the actual building the rides, and I get a lot of pleasure out of it. But yeah, so 3, I was a little disappointed on the rides that you could ride, because like the go-karts you couldn't actually drive them, and a lot of the rides you couldn't actually ride them still. Like the laser tag, you still can't play the laser tag. The haunted house, you still can't go in them. A lot of the flat stationary type rides, you can't actually ride them. Some of them you can, but so I was a little sad about that. But overall, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was really good, and it came out with a couple new things too, like Soaked and Wild, and I really liked both of those too, the expansions. The scenery, it did a little more and a little less than Roller Coaster Tycoon in a way. Overall, it did, I think, less, but it it did do a lot more with the dinosaurs than Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, with the dinosaur type themes, and then a lot more with the pirates too. And some of the stuff they had more choices than the original. But overall, I think I do kind of miss the original too, the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which seemed to have so many options. But a lot of the ones in Roller Coaster Tycoon had them, but they didn't have that much stuff in each one. So, like for example, the pirates, they had like a pirate ship and a couple things, but they didn't have that much for scenery. And in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, they had a lot more. Like you could have individual pirates set up and treasure chests and pirate ships and just all sorts of. Overall, they had a lot more scenery. Now the names is kind of funny. They have like adventure theme instead of like pirate theme, and so sometimes they'll have like Egypt put in adventure theme, I think, if I remember correctly, and then sci-fi. I think they have maybe a little more in sci-fi than the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. So there's only like 5 themes, even with the expansions, but and there's not as many choices, not nearly as many choices, but there is more detail on the ones that did have like dinosaurs. You can do a lot more dinosaurs in RCT3. But anyway, yeah, I played Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 quite a bit too, and I really liked it. I thought it was really well put together. And then the water parks was a whole new element that I had quite a bit of fun with, and the zoo type thing too was quite fun too. So yeah, different from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I still think Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is the best, but Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is definitely recommend it too. And then I want to talk a little bit about some other games kind of along the way, like Thrillville. So Thrillville, you kind of design stuff, but mostly you just walk around and talk to people and play the games. But so it's different. It's a lot different from the other types, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Thought it was a lot of fun, and it kind of immerses you in the theme parks. Like there's a candy world and just all these different worlds that are really fun to play. And even before that, there was the Sim theme park. I think that was actually probably the first one where you could ride the rides. So they had like Sim theme park. You can unlock golden tickets with new fun rides and set it up the way you want and design your park. It's kind of like a combination between Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and 3 in a way. I'm not sure it's quite as good as Roller Coaster Tycoon, but definitely worth getting and playing, and still quite a bit of fun. And then where we are now. So now, as far as Roller Coaster Tycoon games, there's been kind of a time where there's been nothing Roller Coaster Tycoon. There's supposed to be a RCT4, and then it's just kind of switched hands so many times. Atari really doesn't seem to care about Roller Coaster Tycoon anymore. They just seem to be kind of trying to milk the franchise for money, kind of like, in a way, like Rome 2 Total War, but worse. So Roller Coaster Tycoon World, I can't totally hate on it because I haven't actually bought it, and nor do I intend to. But it's kind of a continuation of the Roller Coaster Tycoon franchise, but it's made by different producers from the originals and from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. So Roller Coaster Tycoon World, I looked into it because I was kind of excited about it, but I really don't think it's worth it at all. It really seems to have a lot of trouble, and I looked at the scenery, and there was like 3 things for the spooky theme, I think, and it just really was sad to see Roller Coaster Tycoon World, and it's really sad to see it in such a sad state. But there is good news. There's Parkitect, which I've been hearing a lot about, but I looked at that on Steam, and it really doesn't seem as good as Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 or the other ones. So if you're into like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I'd just recommend getting that one and just playing that. Architect, it seems kind of silly that you go back to two-dimensional, and it didn't really seem as good of two-dimensional stuff as Roller Coaster Tycoon. But that being said, if you want to play Architect and you enjoy it, then certainly go for it. And the big one that's coming out is Planet Coaster, sorry. So Planet Coaster, I think it might actually already be out. If not, it's coming out really soon. So Planet Coaster, I'm definitely probably gonna get it. I think I'm gonna wait till some of the expansions come out. Hopefully, it has 2 expansions. That seems to be what Roller Coaster Tycoon always does. Is has 2 expansions, and yeah, I think, and it's made by the same people that made Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so the graphics look even better than Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I hope it's as good as Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, or maybe even better. So I got high hopes for Planet Coaster, and yeah, those are the new ones coming out. So thanks. Bye.